Hi, I'm Sean. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making a ginger jalapeno cranberry sauce. And it's always good to have the gloves. When you're working with jalapeños, you do not want them on your hands. Too many things you can touch. Got some measuring cups here. We got the water, we got the cranberries. You can estimate how much it's going to take of things like this that are fairly solid by just putting them in the container you're going to be using to measure them. Ginger is very fibrous, but the fibers run along the root, and by cutting across it, it helps to take care of that a little bit. Always good to keep your knife sharp. A dull knife is your worst enemy, and because of the extra force it takes to get it to cut, you are more likely to cut yourself. One of the things about chopping is that you're actually walking the knife, and you come off the tip and then the tip moves it over. Might just make a music video of chopping foods at some point. Just chopping. Techno Kitchen. So we're going to take a brief pause here. The recipe calls for, the basic recipe for the cranberry sauce, which is as basic as you can get, is 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, and 3 cups of berries. Boil the water and the sugar. The sugar serves 3 purposes. It thickens the mixture, it sweetens the mixture, and it serves as a preservative, which is why jams have so much of it. So that's going to go ahead and cook while I continue to chop. With jalapenos, there's 2 possibilities. One is that you leave the seeds in and they are very, very spicy. The other is that you take the seeds out and they are less spicy, because a lot of the temperature of a hot pepper is found in the seeds. So I'm going to leave the seeds in. My test the other day, I made this amount and I used 5 of these, and 5 was not the right amount. 5 was a little warm. So I'm going to go with 3. I think 3 is going to have a bite, but not be quite so disturbing as the other one was. Although the sugar helps to trim it down. Using 3 of these in an amount of salsa that was this large might be too much for a lot of people. The sugar, I'm not sure why, I'll have to look that up, really seems to tone down the hot peppers. So, one of the things is that you want to curl up your fingers, keep the fingertips away, and use your knuckle to guide that. The difference between the chopping and the slicing is that slicing moves the knife instead of just downward. Almost like a saw, but you can't tell if that's what's happening. Part of how a knife works is that there is tiny little serrations left when it gets sharpened. In general, keep the fingers out of the way of the blade. And for this, I'm not going to chop these up because it's quite decorative to have the rounds in there. You can also use a smaller knife for this. Paring knife works just fine. And over here we're boiling, and so we're going to turn that off for a minute. So we have a fourth of a cup of ginger, a cup of jalapeños, the 3 cups that were measured out earlier of the cranberries. A quick stir over here. With non-stick cookware, not only do you want to use something that will protect it from metal like that, but don't ever put it in your dishwasher because it will ruin the non-stick part of it. Stuff will stick. Get to be a real pain in the butt. You can re-season them. That's something for another episode. Don't forget to get out all the utensils before you get started on your cooking show. Nice to have the wooden utensils, again, for use with the non-stick cookware. So we got that going. Now we're going to add these. Previously, I added the jalapenos and the garlic after it was garlic. Previously, I added the jalapenos and the ginger after the cranberries had already gotten well cooked. But I don't think it really blended the flavors all that well when I did that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get it boiling again. And then once it is boiling, isn't that beautiful? Very Christmassy with the reds and the green. We're going to get it boiling again. Once it's boiling, we will turn it down to very low simmer, and then we will let it simmer for about half an hour and use the timer for that. And then I will return because a half an hour of watching it cook, although again, might make a nice music video. Probably not what we were after. So the timer just went off. It's on for half an hour. We're going to turn off the stove now. And it looks delicious. No stinging of the nostrils or burning of the eyes opening the lid there. So I think that pretty much covers it for today. The recipe will be going up on a website and the step-by-steps. And not sure what's going to be next, actually. Might do some bread. Bread is much easier than people think it is. Especially if you have one of the stand mixers that has a dough hook. Huge thing to have. So we're going to take this out of the pan now. We're going to let it cool in the container before we put it in the fridge. You put things that are too hot in the fridge, 2 things happen. It makes your fridge work harder. The other thing is that it condenses, so your fridge will rain. And who needs that? So not going to put a lid on it yet, at least not a tight lid. And that's it for today. I forgot to close out. So in closing, I'd like to say thank you. I'm Sean, and this is my kitchen.